So we have put the size onto the canvas and I've left it for about 3 hours. It's nice and tacky. See that? So it's not leaving any residue on my fingertips. Sometimes I would actually leave it overnight, but sometimes I think I've been a bit too ambitious and I've been leaving it overnight, and then sometimes dust will get stuck onto it. So the next step is we are going to apply our gold leaf. So this is a superior quality gold leaf called Barnabas Black Gold. I've used it before, it's really nice. So it actually comes with a set of gloves, which makes you feel very professional. Let's put them on. So we're going to put the gloves on. With your standard gold leaf, you do not need to wear gloves. But let's just be professional here. So we've got this beautiful packet. Let's open it up and see what it looks like. So there's 100 sheets in this packet, and I've worked out, so my canvas is 1 meter by 1 meter, which is 40 by 40 inches. And I've worked out that I need about 50 sheets, 45, 50. So this is 100. So there is a tissue backing on each sheet. You know what? I'm going to put my glasses on. That's better. Okay. So they're coming in a little booklet. So I've got 4 booklets, so 25 in each booklet. Okay. It's actually quite hard to handle them initially with gloves on. So if I pull back the tissue, you can see this lovely gold. So they're loose leaf sheets, and I am going to show you how I apply these loose leaf sheets to the canvas. We're going to cover the whole thing with gold, and it's going to look amazing. Okay, so let's do that. So if you've got a scalpel or a palette knife or just anything that you can prise away that first sheet, that's quite useful. It's a little bit tricky to get used to where you have to pull away the tissue and the gold leaf from the booklet, but what it does do is it keeps the 2 sheets kind of pressed together, which is quite helpful. So you're going to place it flat upside down onto the canvas and just press it down gently. Remove the tissue, and because I'm wearing gloves, I feel quite comfortable to just press bits down which haven't quite stuck. I'm not going to firmly press it at this stage. I'm just going to leave it like this for the moment. So then we move on to the next sheet and we just prise that off. Give it a little tear. If you've got, you might find that your gold leaf is just in a stack, in which case you won't be needing to tear it away. And then when I place down the second sheet, I'm going to slightly overlap the first one. And we're basically just going to start almost tiling the canvas. Okay, so let's just work on that. And I want to show you how I build that up. What I like to do is to cover the entire top of the canvas first and then work my way around the edges. Obviously this is a very large canvas, which is good so you can really see exactly what I'm doing, and possibly you might not approach something this large if it's your first time gold leafing. Oh look, there's my mum. So my mum came to stay and she is doing a little painting of a cottage, so I am giving her a little tutorial, oops, whilst I'm giving you a tutorial. So yeah, totally multitasking. So as I'm building up my squares, it's easy for you to see where I have overlapped each one, and we've got this kind of lots of loose gold leaf waiting to be brushed away. So once I finish the whole canvas, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a sort of burnishing process. So I actually big fan of kitchen paper, like a nice quality one, and I just give it a gentle rub and it sort of burnishes. So by that we mean it's being pressed into the surface and slightly polished. And at this stage, this is going to brush away the majority of the excess gold leaf. And then we'll come back in with a brush. So here I'm using a flat brush, and I just scratch along at each of the seams and brush away all that excess gold leaf. And then the outline of the squares is revealed. And traditionally with gold leaf, most people like to embrace, you know, that hint of the squares, and some people don't like it at all. And I've actually worked out a technique for eliminating the squares where you can do like a double coat and almost lose the squares. But most of the time I keep the squares. I like it a lot. So we're just going to gently kind of brush our way along and kind of smooth out the surface, and I will show you how I get a really beautiful finish on it. It's so rewarding brushing away all this excess gold, especially when you come to the edges of the canvas and everything just starts to look smooth and gorgeous. So I hope that you are enjoying rubbing away your excess gold, and whatever size project you're working on, that you just take your time, do it nice and methodically, and let's get the best finish we can. So now I have completed the process of actually brushing away all the excess. So I'm just going to lift up this large canvas and let everything fall. And all these lovely bits which are falling down are actually called skewings. So I've noticed since I've been using this superior quality gold leaf that there's a lot less wastage and a lot less skewings. So normally I'd have an absolute mountain to clear up, but this isn't too bad. And then what I'm just going to do, because you get a lot of bits stuck around the back of the canvas, I'm just going to really give that a good old scrub, and that's super satisfying as well. Look at it all flying down. And then finally I'm going to show you how I just basically let everything fall onto the floor, and I just get the vacuum cleaner out, because that I found is the best. If you start trying to use the dustpan and brush, it just flies everywhere. So I just vacuum it up and then maybe mop the floor, and bits get stuck on my elderly dog, who you're about to see a picture of. So then we are going to move on to the varnishing process. So see you in a minute. So now I want to introduce you to my favourite varnish. I've had lots of adventures with varnish, some disastrous, and finally I found the product that I like the best. And this is a decorator's varnish by Polyvine, and the gloss version works perfectly on gold leaf. When you paint it on, it looks absolutely terrifying, like you've ruined the whole thing. But then within quite a short space of time, it dries and it is perfect, and you just don't even notice any difference to the quality of the gold leaf. I actually tried the matte version of this varnish and it was horrendous. It just looks so dull, completely changed the quality. So yes, I am going to give you all the details in the description below. In fact, I made a video recently where I compared different varnishes, so there's a couple that I like, so you might want to check that out and see what you think. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a flat varnishing brush, And what I like to do is I just like to cover it as quickly as possible with nice uniform strokes, all going in the same direction, and just get it done. Go do the top, then do the sides, hold your breath, and before you know it, it's going to look amazing. Just a brief interlude whilst I'm finishing off my varnishing to let you know that I have just created my first online painting course, and it's suitable for anybody who's keen to get back into painting, has never painted, hasn't painted since they were a kid, and I'm going to show you exactly how to get started, break down all those barriers, and really take you from zero to hero, basically. And so if you want to start learning with me on a more in-depth basis, I will link the course in the description below. So we're virtually done with the varnishing, and I hope that you have learned something watching this. And you know, I've got a whole catalogue of gold leaf videos, so go back and have a look through those. Next up, I'll be posting a video of how I actually painted the artwork on this canvas. But I was absolutely thrilled, basically, with the result of the gold leaf, the varnishing, and had this pristine canvas ready to paint for my client. So please subscribe, come back next time and see how I painted the beautiful blossom artwork on it. See you soon. Bye.